What's up? What's up, Cougs? What's up, everybody? Excuse me. All right, I got the obviously Alabama, Missouri, or Mizzou just ended. The game was a little bit closer than I thought. I mean, Missouri had a lead there, kind of like fourth inning or fifth inning. Alabama won 4-1, and Stanford and Virginia Tech are going on right now. We're watching that. I know coming up is, let me see. Coming up is, I saw it's Kentucky and someone. For some reason it's disappeared on me now. But Kentucky and whoever. Canes and Zach, I think that was a rough one for our guys. That was a rough one for our guys. Understandably so. I mean, they may be frustrated. Both of these teams need to be winners of the ACC championship to get in now into the NCAA tournament. Funny thing is, I think of the bottom 4 seeds, or of the bottom 8 seeds, I should say. Bottom 8 seeds. Is it? Let's see. Let me pull up so I can make sure I'm getting this right. All right, so of the bottom 8 seeds, right now, the only ones that probably are a lock to be in the tournament, I think Miami is still in. They're going to be sweating now. I mean, they finished at 15 and 14. They finished above 500 in ACC play. I just don't see how you can leave them out. But I think Miami's still in. Louisville's in. And Notre Dame right now is one of the last 4 in. So those teams probably don't need to obviously wins can help out their case immensely, but all the other teams, Cal, VT, Stanford, Pitt, Boston College, have got to win the conference tournament to make it into the NCAA championship. Not good, boys, says Dusty. Canes are on the ropes. Miami firmly on the bubble now. We may not make the tournament. RPI is at 37. I think Miami's in. I think it's really hard. The ACC had a really weird year this year. Like, there were so many missed games. I haven't seen a year like that ever. I mean, since I've been paying attention in the ACC or really at any conference like the Southeast Conference or Southeastern Conference or the Atlantic Coast Conference, so many teams missed like a game or 2 games, 3 games if you're Virginia and Florida State. And so is the committee going to hold that against them? I would hope not. I would hope the committee doesn't hold that against them just because – you can't assume. I mean, you can't assume win or loss, but I mean, an extra game against a good opponent. 15 wins usually does it, Zach. Where does Miami finish in the league? Yeah, 15. Miami's 15 and 14. If you count today in the league, they're 15 and 15. And they looked like they were going to sweep NC State. I mean, everything looked like they were going to sweep NC State. And to be honest, that's kind of on Miami because if you know bad weather's coming, they should have just played the game earlier. That would make a lot of sense. Send JD to the moon. What does that mean? Does that mean, is that good or bad? Usually to the moon is a good thing. I still think, like, again, I mean, Miami was projected, what, 11th in the ACC this year? Laugh out loud. JD was fired, then he was coach of the year, and now he's dead to the boys again. Did you have Cal run ruling on your bingo, Cal? Our card? No, I didn't, Nancy. I thought Miami would win that. But that is the interesting thing is, you know, the short turnaround of having to play, like, first game Tuesday, and Hugus had what? 5 days rest, which he's not. Again, like, that's normal if you're in college. It's funny because this kid hitting for Stanford right now has already announced that he will be in the portal. Isn't that funny? JD, I picked Cal, but it was a surprise. Just had that feeling. JD, I sent you an email. Check the email. But what I was saying is that, you know, these kids aren't used to pitching on 5 days rest, even though it's like that's plenty of time for your arm to rest. And then you get like a 9 a.m. start. Like, anything can happen. Anything can happen in that game. Please, please, please remember 2 weeks ago who predicted Miami's pitching to collapse. I don't know if you can call it a pitching collapse. I think they just, I mean, it was a bad day. The 9 a.m. game is just like a flip a coin. I mean, anything can happen in a 9 a.m. game. Dusty always trying to get credit for every little thing. It's unbelievable. It was the most obvious thing ever. Are you forgetting last weekend at home versus Notre Dame? Are we acting like that didn't happen? Well, certainly. I mean, but it was one game where they really gave up a lot of runs. The other two games were close. I'll tell you what, one of the storylines this year in the ACC was kind of the disappointing freshman year of Rintaro Sasaki. Everybody, including myself, thought he was going to like be a, and it could be because Stanford was just not that great, and it's hard to be great on a bad team. But I think everyone thought Rintaro Sasaki was going to do way more than he has. 7 home runs, like 275. My bad. Had the score wrong. They actually scored 15 Saturday. Where is Kane's Cat's Heat? He was in here earlier. He's quiet today. Wily Bout Enjoyer is a known Rentaro Sasaki doubter. Well, you didn't join the stream until about 4 days ago, so we don't know that. You could just be making it up. Durham ballpark, the Durham baseball stadium is looking nice. I will say, I think the Hoover Met, although the stadium itself is not like super nice, it seems like they just get a bunch of fans in the SEC tournament, which makes sense because it's a lot of teams way more regionally close. I mean, that's an hour and a half drive from my house. You know, I missed big on Sasaki too. Everybody did. I mean, I think the number everyone said he's the best hitter in Japan in a long time. Broke all the records, and to just kind of have an okay year as a freshman is really surprising. I didn't miss on Sasaki. I said he needs to get ready to learn red, white, and blue. Did Trump tariff Sasaki's OPS? Maybe. I don't think he did. Wow, Virginia Tech with just a brutal play. How does that... Oh, it got stuck. I'm watching the game, man. Yeah, I had to check my phone for... I got a few things coming up after this. This is the old, like, dive, and it somehow lands behind your glove. Just whiffed it. Oh, no, this is from the hospital. This is from the hospital. I just have it because I know exactly how much I'm drinking. Right here, see? You can't see because of the light, but it's got the ounces. So I know I'm drinking about 30 ounces of water with each one of these. Gotta drink, gotta hydrate, man. So Stanford's got runner on second with 2 outs. And this is, like I've told you guys, a lot of people are hearing that the Virginia Tech job is going to be open after the season. And Kendall Rogers tweeted that there's going to be some big changes this week. And I think basically now what you have to think about is now because the SEC and the ACC, everybody makes the tournament. Like as soon as a team gets eliminated, change could happen. Do you guys think do you think Sheck at Virginia Tech should be gone? Does anybody actually think that? I feel like with what Virginia Tech has facilities wise and like backing wise, I feel like they've done pretty well. What's going on? Been heads down all day. What's up, Buck? We're watching. Well, I think Canes and Zach have been a little quiet today in the chat. Not doing a whole lot. They're hanging head a little bit, which is fine. But we're watching Stanford, Virginia Tech right now. How does this impact Miami's seeding? Well, I mean, I think Miami's definitely going to be sweating now. I think what Miami's looking at now is, how many stolen bids, everything like that. They're definitely going to be sweating. But I think, regular season, they were above 500 in ACC play. I think they have to be in. I just don't think you can. I don't think you can say that a win, above 500 ACC team is not in the tournament. And if you think the ACC and the SEC are the best, and there's going to be 13 and 11 bids, then I think Miami's in, unless Miami's also watching out for all right, if Notre Dame advances, if Louisville advances, and those two teams go kind of deep, and then a team that's not going to make the tournament wins it, Miami's really sweating. So it's like that. It just depends on how the rest of this tournament goes, and then the smaller tournaments and stolen bids. Canes has gone into hiding. Tulane with a big win. Yeah. Okay, jumping into that game. First four out seed. They may leave the U out to add another SEC team. It's definitely there's definitely a chance of that. Notre Dame is a late game tonight? Yeah. But I think that's what you're looking at. You're looking at stolen bids if you're Miami, and then someone out of the ACC, one of the bottom seeds winning it that has no chance of making the tournament outside of winning. So if Virginia Tech win, Miami's in trouble. If Notre Dame gets a couple wins, Louisville gets a win, right? And I think Louisville's probably in before Miami already. So it's more they're watching Notre Dame, and they're watching a no chance tournament team winning. But at least having drinks with Notre Dame fans tonight hopefully can get the bar to put it on. Are you really? So they should be watching the game then. I hope they're baseball fans. Let me see if I can pull up the live scores just so we have other stuff. See what's going on around the conference. So Missouri is eliminated by Alabama. Tulane, as Smitty said, big win over Florida Atlantic. That is a big win for Tulane. Davidson is beating St. Joseph's in Atlantic 10. Illinois is beating Michigan in the Big Ten tournament, top 8. North Florida and Austin P are tied 0-0 in the top of the third. Niagara and Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac is up 8-3 in the top of the seventh. UTSA is beating Rice in the American Athletic Tournament. UTSA is 23-4 in conference. We're watching Virginia Tech Stanford 0-0. Coming up soon is Kentucky Oklahoma. I'm told is it Kentucky Oklahoma started yet? It seems like it says a 1:30 start on D1 baseball. I don't know if that is right. Indiana State and Illinois State coming up from Missouri Valley 2:30. Yep, they're more football, but I can get them into it. Yeah, I mean, they better get into it. Did Stanford game start late or is it on time? No, it started on time. I mean, Miami game ended. I mean, Miami game started at 9 a.m. So I mean, I think Stanford started pretty close to on time. Did Miami used to always have really good teams? Not as much lately. Why do you think? I think you have to understand that. Again, NIL, all that stuff is a factor. Miami, just so you know, Nancy, I mean, it like very, very well established that like in the 90s and the early 2000s, up until like when I played, a lot of those guys were juicing. Miami used a lot of tactics to get signs from the catcher, and like there's a lot of stories that people around the ACC know. That doesn't mean, again, Miami had a lot of really good players as well, but it's just different now. I mean, it's hard to really explain it. I mean, it's just the days when Miami was really good were also kind of, there's an asterisk there. Ratio Nationals fan. Speaking of the ACC greats, what do you think about once great ACC commit Brett Phillips, fan favorite over here? Where was Brett Phillips? Where was Brett Phillips committed to? Florida State? Says 1:45 start for Oklahoma, UK Oklahoma on ESPN. Okay. What do I mean, Brett Phillips was a roommate of mine. North Carolina State. Okay, he was in North Carolina State. I think Brett, like if you think tools wise, really tooled out, not a great hitter, whole lot of swing and miss. And I think he was pushed too quickly to AAA, to the big leagues. He really struggled in AA for a few years and then was kind of just pushed up. But like tools out of his mind. I mean, cannon, power, like really good speed. Didn't have the hit tool, but had pretty much all the others. But again, like if you're striking out like 30% of your at bats in the minor leagues, like that's pretty good indicator it's going to be even worse in the big leagues. But he ended up having a decent career. I think he's maybe trying to pitch now. I don't know. I remember Pat Murphy making that joke with Brett in big league camp with the Brewers after he had hit like 220 in AA. He came in and Brett was, he saw him swinging or something, and then he was like, Phillips, I thought we were changing you to pitcher after last year. And Brett did not like that. He did not like it. So like Murph was the kind of guy, if he knew he could rib you and you were going to take it kind of personally, he would just keep doing it. Great question, Nats. Known two-way force. Kyle, you don't need to mansplain baseball, Nancy. She gets it. Texas A&M, Mississippi State will be interesting tonight, but for mostly the wrong reasons. Who quits? Yeah, for real. Well, I mean, either of them can make it if they win the championship, so we'll see. Cost of school now? I feel like I'm lost here. Cost of school now. Six tool. Brett Phillips is a tool. Kyle Wren. I did not say that. But yeah, he was. I mean, he had all the tools in the world. He just didn't have the hit tool, and that's the hardest one to really. That's the hardest one to have and to maintain and to keep up the levels. I did just say it. You're right. I did. I did just say it because he posted it and I read it. So you're right. What's the hardest tool you've ever seen? Daniel Polka's power tool, probably. Your YouTube chat is delayed? I don't know why. Just got off the post game space, Zach. Yeah, I figured you guys maybe top 3 ACC baseball players as stake sides. Go. That's a tough one, man. I don't know. As stake sides. I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't. That's a crazy question, man. Steak side. So, do their name have to be like a side of a steak? Daniel Polka's power tool, Wiley. Buckby, all of 30 fans at the Stanford Virginia Tech game. That stadium looks nice, though. I want to see the ACC tournament at some point. Yeah, Durham is really nice. Charlotte is really nice. Charlotte is the best, but Durham's really nice as well. It's just what sucks is the ACC tournament. The issue with the ACC tournament is that it's always a farther travel for the Northeast schools, and there's not a whole lot of drivability unless you're in Georgia or in the Carolinas, and I guess Virginia too. But so I mean that leaves like more than half the teams out from driving, and most people aren't going to fly. So it like in the SEC tournament, they almost all can drive. Miami looked like the team playing at 6 a.m. West Coast time. Yeah, and I said it earlier, Zach. I mean, that 9 a.m. games on short rest for a pitcher, it's just like flip a coin with what's going to happen. I keep hitting that camera, as you guys know. You just can't predict what's going to happen, unfortunately. That's a tough game to get up and play. Most guys, like a lot of guys, are going to be asleep still. They're not really woken up. And Miami looked like that. You're right. Miami looked like it. Goose fat potatoes? That sounds nice. Kyle Wren was the unsalted mashed potatoes. No, salty as heck. No, salty, like super salty mashed potatoes. Can I get Wiley Ballard autograph? You don't want it. I've been to the Charlotte Stadium. Super cool. Yeah, it is. It's a really nice stadium. For a long time before they changed the balls in AAA in 2019 to the big league ball, which is now why you see guys get to AAA and they all of a sudden they hit way more home runs. But that was the best stadium to hit in the International League was Charlotte. It was like the one. It was one of the few, not the only one, but there was like the stadium where, like, if you hit a ball well, it was going to be a home run. Man, this has been a boring game for Virginia Tech Stanford right now. Third inning, 1 out, 0-2 count. Nobody can get any action going. Who are you picking? Virginia Tech or Stanford? I mean, I think based off the season, I think Virginia Tech's better. I think anyone can. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a one game, so anyone can win it. But I think Virginia Tech's got a better team, so I'll go with Virginia Tech. Kyle's a known Stan. I don't even know what that means. Durham Bulls Park is a Mickey Mouse stadium. Why? Why is it a Mickey Mouse stadium? Why is it a Mickey Mouse stadium? That's actually a really nice stadium. And we could only score 2 runs in it. It's not a Mickey Mouse stadium. What do you mean? No, it's not. I mean, to left field, it's shallow, but you got to hit it 100 feet over the fence. It actually, I mean, Dusty can tell you he played in AAA in Durham a lot. I played in Durham in the ACC tournament and in AAA. Like it's a pretty fair park. Like you got to hit it for it to go. I mean, now with how juice the balls are in college, I mean it's a little bit different. But Dusty, are you going to be announcing in the tournament? Ratio Nationals fan. Kyle, my coworker was once at a Georgia Tech Kennesaw State game in 2021 and saw you get ejected. What happened? I didn't get ejected, I don't think. I argued with the umpire, that's for sure. But I did not get ejected. I yelled obscenities at the umpire, that's for sure. But I don't think I got ejected. I don't think I did. We don't deserve to make the tournament. Lost 6 out of 7 and got run ruled by the worst team in the ACC. Yeah. First to third for Stanford on the single to center. K. Wren would be proud. Yes. Yes. That was good base running. Two outs, though, so Virginia Tech not hurt. Just got to get this next out. Kyle said bad words. Yeah, I did. Can you play the clip? I don't have the clip. Someone probably does, though. It's one for the ages for sure. Pretty crystal clear audio. I like Durham Stadium. Didn't play Sun with strength and conditioning coach with Nats, AAA Syracuse. They played Durham. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I played in Syracuse too. They just redid that stadium up in Syracuse, but I played in it before, and it was very, very old. But can Stanford get some runs across here? I mean, that's the question. Hell yeah, Nancy. Can your son get Kyle in the gym? He's got those noodle arms. Who is Ratio Nationals? I feel like I've been getting trolled the last like 2 or 3 streams. I've just had people in here that are trolling. Let's see, Ratio Nationals fan. Let's see what these posts look like. All right, we're back here. I'm hearing that I have some issues with the stream on YouTube, so let me check here. Kentucky versus Oklahoma is starting. Yeah, we'll probably we're gonna switch over to that as well here soon. A lot of you guys are still commenting on YouTube. I don't know why Dusty's struggling so much. Let me see if I can find this. Dusty, you should be able to comment on YouTube. I'm not sure why it's not letting you. I think it's on your end. There's nothing on my end stopping you from. All right, and so I miss it. Stanford gets one on a wild pitch. Hey, that one knee really, hey, that's it, dude. One knee makes you better at blocking pitches. One knee makes you better. I mean, that's the prime example right there, guys, of just how ridiculous people are that say, "Well, one knee, you can do it." Like the guy that was the easiest ball to block for a catcher you can get, and he can't even move because he's like, look at him. There's a runner on third base, and he's in a full split. Like, what's he gonna do if it's to his left or right? He's in a full split. That's what I don't get. Why are we getting down into a split with one knee down? Look at this. Like, what are you doing with a runner on third base? Does Stanford have a lot of NIL? Dusty can never be banned. Yeah, I don't know what Dusty's done. He's like, he can't figure out how to comment from YouTube. Heard Hetty got to Dusty. Who is Ratio Nationals fan? That's something only a Georgia Tech player would really know. Only a former Georgia Tech player would know that. Ratio Nationals fan is someone involved with the Georgia Tech baseball program. Confirmed. What happened to VT? Weren't they a national seed like 3 years ago? I'll say this, like Virginia Tech seems to like what's been their issue lately is that they start out really well and then they just utter collapse. That's been their big issue. So it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say like what's the reasoning for that, other than that it just seems to have happened over the last couple of years where they start out really well and they collapse. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Had to go to Twitter. Unfortunately, RNF is a Fed. Seems like it. Someone's trolling me. I mean, there's some troll accounts that have been created and are being used at this point. That's how you know this channel is getting big now. That's how you know this channel's blowing up. The trolls are starting to invade. We got to keep them at bay. Also, Virginia Tech is never going to be an annual national seed. It's a 1 out of every 10 years thing. Yeah, I mean, they don't really get any like funding, NIL. From what I had heard, they don't have any NIL right now. 123. 123. You're on the Elite Sports Advising account, Dusty. There's 86 watching my personal account, and there's 15 on YouTube. So look in the top left screen, buddy. Look in the top left of the screen. All right. Or you can't even see it probably. Can Stanford hold off? YouTube is not wanting me to be great. Yeah, something's going on with you and YouTube. I don't know what it is. Dusty's right. Stop the count. Fraudulent views. PSYOP. Stop the steal. Oh my gosh. Can Virginia Tech find a way? See, 97 right here. Like I just remember like those first two series for Stanford. They were what, 5-1 in ACC play, and they had beaten UNC on the road. And everyone thought this is a legit team. They're one of their starters is throwing like upper 90s. And they just, since that series, they just literally fell apart. UK bases loaded, hits into the double play. Brutal. That's tough. What do you think about Rentaro's regression this year? I don't know. I don't know if you can call it a regression. I mean, this is his first year in college baseball. I think it's definitely a disappointing season. I mean, he was very hyped up coming in. Stanford has not been very good, but even when they were playing better earlier in the season, he was just doing okay. He didn't hit a home run for until maybe after 20 games. So I still think he's got a lot of potential, but certainly a disappointing season for him. And definitely one of the reasons why Stanford has not been as good as people thought they were going to be, because everyone thought he was going to be a stud. Wiley Ballard Enjoyer now is joining on YouTube as well. If you talk to players, they will tell you that Stanford is really talented, couldn't get it going. Yeah, which is strange. I mean, they have some arms, they have some pieces in the lineup. I don't think they have. I don't think they don't have the depth of talent. I think they have some top end talent type players, but the rest of their team, they don't have a lot of depth. Big hit for Virginia Tech. Tied it up. I talked to DB8. He said they were 2, 3, or 4 teams. They were 2, 3, 4 teams. They were top 3 or 4 teams. Really? He was really impressed with their arms. I mean, they did have really good arms. I'll give them that. I will give them that. I think that was certainly disappointing, though, overall. Just kind of what they've done this year. I'll be right back. Got to get some more water, guys. All right, we're back. We're back. Creatine kicking in for Kyle. All right, guys, we are back. How far do you think Georgia goes in SEC tourney? I saw they were tied with Missouri for the most strikeouts going into the final week, but Georgia may have been leading in home runs. Early exit? I don't think early exit. I mean, I think Georgia's like to be honest, like the thing that's very impressive about Georgia is the people that ended up being in their starting rotation were not the people that everyone expected. And I think that Wes Johnson's just done a great job of kind of figuring out who the guys are to go to and moving like Brian Curley to the rotation. It's been a really good move. So they've done a great job managing that pitching staff because everyone thought that was going to be the weaker side of their team. And it's actually done well enough, and their offense is explosive 100%. So I have to look. Let me look what the let's see what part of the bracket they're in. All right, so they will face the winner of Oklahoma and Kentucky. So I think they win that. And then they face Vandy. I mean, I think Georgia could make it to the semifinals. I think Georgia's got a legitimate route to the semifinals because I think of Texas, Vandy, Arkansas, and LSU, the double bye teams. I think Vandy's probably the best draw. So I think Georgia, again, because Oklahoma and Kentucky, they're solid, right? They're SEC teams, but you're not really scared of them. Like Alabama's going to go against Tennessee. I'm more afraid of Alabama than Oklahoma and Kentucky. The next bracket's Florida, South Carolina. I'm really scared of Florida if I'm Ole Miss, who's got the one bye. And then Auburn gets the winner of Mississippi State and Texas A&M. So I think Georgia really has I think Georgia's bracket is the easiest in the SEC tournament to get to the semifinals. It obviously will get hard at that point, but I think Georgia has the best route to the championship. 100% underachieved. Wiley Ballard, in the meantime, I'll take all questions in his stead. Creatine kicking in for Kyle. I did have my 10 grams this morning. But I did not have that. Not for that reason is why I had to leave. Ask me anything, chat. UGA a little too in barbecue, my friend. Two in barbecue? What do you mean two in barbecue? They're going to win too? It's single elimination, the SEC tournament, Dusty. Love it, Dusty. Kyle, when are you going to serenade the stream with a lore of Jake Davies' ACC tournament? I don't know. I don't know if they would get it. It's you kind of had to be there to get it to understand the true power of Jake Davies doing what he did. All right, I'm going to pull up the Kentucky game because this is the Virginia Tech and Stanford game is just absolutely boring. There's there's no action going on. Kentucky is bottom first. Oklahoma's got a runner on, one out. Is it hard for you to say UGA is doing a great job? It is, but I think objectively you have to look at what Wes Johnson's done in his 2 years. And last year, no one projected them to be a host. They were not a super talented team, and like again, that's an example of a well-coached team when they outperform. And so I think Wes Johnson's done a great job at Georgia. Obviously, they did a great job in the portal this year getting hitters. So yeah, it's tough to say, but it's true. Like UGA is doing a really good job. Do you think Arkansas goes to Omaha, or will the Hogs be cracked? Yeah, the Hogs will be cracked, I think. When are they going to induct me and Davies into the ACC Tournament Hall of Fame? I don't know. I'm not. If I was in the know on that, I'd let you know, but I'm not. So, all right, 2 outs for Kentucky. in the bottom of the first with a runner on second. Can they get out unscathed? I think most of you guys would agree, though. Craig, do not censor me. I think most of you guys would agree in the SEC tournament. I think Georgia has the easiest bracket. If you're just looking at it, because in that bottom bracket you have Mississippi State and A&M, and A&M was the preseason #1 team, so there's talent on that team. If they just play well, they can beat anybody. Mississippi State has played very well since Lamonis was let go. So Auburn's going to have to play a really talented team no matter what. And then Auburn's going to have to play LSU after that, or whoever wins the game against Auburn. Likewise, Florida versus South Carolina. Florida probably going to win that. And then so Ole Miss has got to beat Florida. And whoever wins that has to play Arkansas. And then Alabama won. They face Tennessee. And then whoever wins that faces Texas. The thing we've talked about a lot on this channel is that Vandy, although they've had a really good year, they do not seem to be really talented this year. The pitching staff has done a great job. Scott Brown's done a great job. But offensively, they're hitting like 250, and they're scoring like 6 runs a game. Kyle, UGA is one and done. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can say that, man. Like, I don't know if I can. I mean, who do you envision they're going to play? You think Oklahoma or Kentucky are better than Georgia? Kyle, what are you doing this weekend? Might need a stream and smoke session? Like smoked meats. Smoked meats, right, Dusty? That's what you're talking about? That's a 5-minute timeout for Ballard Enjoyer. I'm sorry. I have to do it. That is a 5-minute timeout. I can't even do it on. I have to block him on Restream chat, unfortunately. Wiley Ballard Enjoyer. If you some of the jokes are funny. That's a little bit over the line. Do it again. I have to block you on the stream. I got a rack of St. Louis ribs begging to be charred up. Keynes is contemplating why he booked the hotel for a week in Durham right now. Oh, hopefully he can get his money back, right? Hopefully he can. I got to figure out. We could probably do that, Dusty. I mean, we'd have to get all my setup figured out what we would do with it. Do a I'm trying to think right now how we would do it. We could do it. We could do it. Buck at Buck. Oh, laugh out loud. Yeah. That is pretty funny. Keynes did. I mean, he did say he was going, didn't he? Tim Corbin said Vanderbilt players are excited to stop at Buc-ee's on their way to Hoover. He's asked his go-to order at Buc-ee's. Nothing, he said before pausing. Bathrooms. I like the bathrooms. Okay. No way Canes went to Durham. Tell me it ain't so. I'm serious. I think he said he was going. I'm pretty sure, right, Buck? It was either he was going to the regional because he said he was going to the Indianapolis 500 and something else. And I can't remember if it was ACC tournament or the regional. So I'm going to check on Canes and see if he's climbing on top of the bull in left field. Yeah, he's probably out there in like left field at like the bar out there. Why isn't Oklahoma throwing their Friday night guy? Buck, like what we've been hearing, me and Dusty in particular, especially at like Georgia Tech, but other schools, is that kids like will not pitch on like 5 or 6 days rest. So if Oklahoma's Friday night guy threw on Thursday, like, and the coaches are doing it too. Like the coaches will be like, he hasn't got enough rest. So that's probably what it is, that they didn't feel comfortable pitching him on a small amount of days rest. I don't know. I mean, I think Dusty and I would agree that it's like, I mean, you're 22 years old. Some of these kids are 22, 23 years old. They're older than we were when we got to pro ball, and like they're like they can't pitch on 5 days rest. Kyle, I'm sorry. That's all right. I mean, just the Overton window is, at a certain place, and just stay within that. Stay within that Overton window of appropriate for family-friendly streams. Thank you. Will Tate pitch Thursday? Probably. Because, I mean, I think Nancy, I think he's the only one that you would pick to pitch. Also because Brady Jones and Jalen Payton, who are really your two best starters of the last 3 weeks, pitched on Sunday, both of them. So now Payton threw 4 innings. Realistically, I think Payton, depending on his pitch count, may be able to, but it's probably McKee because he'll have 7 days rest. Or I should say they threw on Saturday. So they would have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, kind of like 4.5 days rest. But it's going to be McKee because it's been a week since he pitched, and that's just what you're going to go with. I mean, you just hope that McKee can kind of get back to kind of his middle of the season form where he went like 6 innings a few times and like was pitching into the 7th. He just hasn't looked as good recently. He's had a few rough starts lately. And so you need him to have a good game because again, it's single elimination now. So like you got to win the game. And what will be interesting is, I mean, you're going to have McKee, you're going to have Patel. So I think that's going to be who you see mostly on Thursday is McKee and Patel. But you're going to see the interesting thing is like, where do they go from there? Because even on Friday, like, who are they going to pitch exactly? What's the game plan going to look like is going to be interesting to kind of figure out. McKee is the probable. Yeah, 100%. Who is Wiley Ballard and Joyer? We need an investigation. I think I know who he is. I'm not gonna dox him, but I'm pretty sure I know who he is. There's your free autograph. Nancy, when hubby played in good old days, didn't get that many days rest as a pitcher. Yep. And that was the case not too long ago. Not even good old days, like 20 years ago, that was the case. Don't want to use Patel too early. Yeah, but it's a must-win game, Nancy. And also, it's single elimination, so you can't play you can't be able to play, or you can't play the like, well, we got to save arms for next game because you got to win game one. And that is like Georgia Tech's Achilles heel as a team is that they have a few good bullpen arms. And with Peyton going to the bullpen, it's even lighter in the bullpen, or with Peyton going to the rotation. But Patel is going to have to be used probably on Thursday, unless you get out to a big lead. Don't want to use Patel too early. Need McKee to be better than good Thursday, if we are being honest. Yes. Sanjay Sridhar, what's up, Sanjay? Being able to save Patel till game 2 would be clutch. Yes, it would be clutch. But you only can save him for game 2 if your offense like puts up a lot of runs and Tate McKee is pitching well. But he has to be ready to pitch on Thursday, especially with Georgia Tech. Again, those of us in this channel think Georgia Tech should be a lock for a host, but according to D1 Baseball, probably some people on the committee, like if some other teams do really well in their tournaments, Georgia Tech could be on the outs of a host, which is ridiculous, but that's just the reality. So you have to win that game. In my opinion, you have to do any and everything Thursday, need to win one game. Yes, that's what I'm saying, is you have to win one game to like it. You shouldn't have to even say this, but it feels like that kind of has to happen only if Tennessee makes a run, Ole Miss makes a run, Alabama makes a run. Like those 3 teams right there could potentially win their way into hosting. And then is Georgia Tech the team that loses its host, or is it Southern Miss or someone else? We don't know, but you have to play it like that. Kyle, do you think an ACC championship gives Georgia Tech a national host? Yes, I think so. I think so. But I mean, again, the committee, I think it should be, right? Because I think you and I agree that Georgia Tech should be borderline. Maybe not a national host, but close. So if you win the ACC championship, 100% you should be. If not, then it does not matter. Win one more game. Yeah. No, you are 100% winning one more game as the priority right now, instead of being like, well, we got to save arms in case we get it to the championship. GT also has to change the narrative that they had a weak schedule. Going out in first game at ACC tournament would not be a good look. Need to win 1 or 2. Yes, 100%. And more than likely, they will be facing Wake Forest, because now it's Cal versus Wake Forest. So Wake Forest probably going to win that game. So they will be facing a team they did not play in the regular season. So we'll see. So we need Thursday. Yes, we need Thursday. How's the weather down south? Cold and rainy up here in Massachusetts. Yeah, up here in Massachusetts, Wiley Bowden Enjoyer. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Crazy because they won regular season. It is crazy, but you know what? This is the thing is this now, Nancy, is because there's so many teams in the ACC and you only play 10 series. You miss 6 of the teams in your conference now. So, like, it is the truth that Georgia Tech, I think, had out of 16 teams, they had the 14th hardest schedule. So they had the 3rd easiest schedule in the ACC, which, again, there's arguments you can make, but just based off of like RPI and strength of schedule and everything. But that's so like what you could say is that, well, yeah, Georgia Tech won the regular season title, but this is the argument. Georgia Tech won the regular season. They didn't play Florida State. They didn't play UNC. They didn't play NC State. They didn't play Wake Forest. Now, those first 3 teams are 3 of the best teams in the ACC. They missed all 3. They did not play Wake, who's also, going to be in the tournament. They lost to Clemson, who was their best opponent, but Clemson also, Georgia Tech could have won all 3 games realistically. So I think I get the argument they lost to Clemson, but they could have very easily swept Clemson. So that's the argument. But I don't think Sanjay sighting from Ponder Thurman. Yeah, Ponder just showed up randomly in the chat all of a sudden. Crazy. And Nats ratio fan left. And Wiley Ballard and Joyer is kind of going back and forth. It's interesting. But I don't think Tech staff is approaching it that way, man. They're shaping up the rotation to win the ship. If it's a must-win, one game you throw Brady Jones. I think you're right now. I think Brady Jones, as of right now, in the last 3 weeks, Brady Jones has been the best starter, like head and shoulders above. Payton's also been very good. Payton just has had his command is kind of he'll have an inning where he walks 2 or 3 guys. But I think Jones has been the best. And Jones, Payton, Patel. Yeah, if you have to win one game, you just go boom. You throw all 3 of them. But I don't think you go all in like that. I think you hope that you're getting. I hope you get a good start from McKee, and then Patel finishes it out. I know who Ratio Nats fan is. Ponder forgot to log back into his Wiley account. Exposed. I know who Ratio Nats fan is. Yeah, should have won the series versus Clemson. Yeah. You were 3 outs away from winning the series, and then the 2 games you lost, they were very close games. The way I say it is Clemson had no chance of sweeping Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech could have swept Clemson. Wait, I thought the safety bag, I had gotten huge arguments with people on social media like a week ago about how the safety bag is not going to prevent a lot of collisions. And I was told I was completely wrong. In Kentucky and Alabama, I just saw a massive collision at first base. But Tate has been walking way too many. Yeah, he has. And his velocity has kind of gone down. And I just think Tate, McKee, one of the things I think is he pitches off his slider so much that at some point as a hitter, when a guy is throwing just a bunch of sliders or his best off-speed pitch, it loses its effectiveness because you've seen it so many times, it doesn't fool you. And so I think that's another issue with him is that he's pitching so much off his slider that, and his fastball velocity is getting slower. I mean, he's comfortably like 91, 92. He'll hit a 93, maybe a 94. But I don't think he has the fastball to be pitching off his slider. I guess that's not what I mean. If his slider is his weapon, keep it as his weapon. But if you just throw it all the time, it's not going to be as effective. Ratio Nats fan has chatted from his main account. Collision at first base in the UK OK game. Safety bag did nothing. Yeah, agreed. It didn't do anything. Kyle wants to go McKee, Bursama, McElvey. That's not what I would do. I would go. I think they're going to go McKee. I agree with you that Brady Jones is probably the best. Brady Jones is the best option in the starting rotation if you have to win a game, but I don't think they're going to pitch him because he pitched on Saturday. And so then you go, okay, McKee's going to pitch. Payton earlier in the year, he threw like 4 innings in a game, and he couldn't even pitch the next weekend. So I don't think Payton's going to pitch. His name rhymes with 2 days of the week. Monday and Sunday. Speaking of elite off speed, what do you make of Jose Barrios this year? I haven't really been following him. I'll tell you this. I got about a 600 batting average off Jose Barrios, but let's see. 53 Ks, 25 walks, 4.19 ERA. I mean, it's too early in the year to make judgments about anybody, especially a guy who's got a lot of time in the big leagues now. $10 games, 58 innings, 53 strikeouts. I think he's kind of right in line with his career numbers right now. You know, I mean, I think he's kind of. I mean, his whip's a little bit higher, but everything else, again, he's 10 games in. I think he's having an okay year, fine year. Can we not do these in-game interviews? Like, this is my thing. This is a must-win, win or go home game, and we're doing like in-game interviews in the dugout. Can we just let the kids focus on playing the game? Does anyone disagree with that? Like, does any? I'm just like, if I'm a coach and like want to, I mean, can we just have the team focused on winning the game? It's Witherspoon Friday night starter, so he's not in the game. Yeah, I get it, but I just think it's a distraction. I think because all of a sudden all the players are over there like behind him or they're throwing stuff at him. I just want players to focus. Even worse when they do it with players. Yes. Hate in-game interviews in any sport. Is there any pitcher currently in the bigs you didn't hit over 500 off of? Um, yeah, there definitely is. But there's a lot that I did. There's a lot that I did. I mean, the thing is with every hitter, you have pitchers that you just see really well that no matter like Deck McGuire, former Georgia Tech pitcher, he's at Missouri, I think Missouri State now as a pitching coach. Like when I faced him, it didn't matter what I was feeling. Like it was going to be 2 or 3 hits. It was just every time. And then you have guys that you're like, I cannot buy a hit off this guy. So I mean, it's just that's kind of how it goes for everybody. Let them coach and play. Yep. Ratio Nats fan, pick an account, you coward. Ratio Nats fan, and you know that Kyle playing the game is not the main objective anymore. Uh, and you know that, but in-game interviews adds nothing really. Yeah, and most of the kids, especially in college, are just bad interviews in general. Cough, cough. Kyle versus Isaacs until junior year. But yes, I did not hit well off Dusty until junior year. I got him, but we did make a bet one time that if I got 2 hits off him, he owed me lunch. If he struck me out twice, I owed him lunch, and then anything else was a push, and he struck me out twice. So that did happen, unfortunately. That did happen. That's a true story. Well, big of you to admit that in public, Kyle. Yeah, You know, I'm not going to act like that things that like that don't that happen. I'm not going to lie about it. I wish I would have got to face Dusty in Pro Ball though. That would have been the real bragging rights. Sources say real ratio Nats fan is being called back home to enlist in a certain budding military dispute. Oh my! This left for Oklahoma is just going soft, soft, and softer. Oh, this lefty, yeah. Everyone's scared to death in college baseball to call fastballs now. It's just like, um, it's almost like, and I think this is the reason. Oh my! Third baseman for Oklahoma boots it. E5. Kentucky takes the lead. Yeah, just a classic third baseman playing it into a tough hop, right? All you got to do is take one step forward or a step backward, and that is an easy play. He freezes, doesn't move, and it's a tough hop, and he can't make it. Stolen base for Kentucky. He's safe. I watched a high school game last night, and I was amazed how many off-speed pitches were thrown between both teams. Yeah, and that's what I was going to get to is that because the strike zone in college has shrunk pretty dramatically, it seems like a lot of pitching coaches have decided it's just not worth trying to even have guys command the fastball to the outside corner or whatever, because if they miss off the plate, it's going to be a ball, and then if they miss in, it's going to get hit really far. I mean, that's kind of what it seems like is going on. But what's really interesting is that there's a lot of pitchers with really good velocity that are still throwing like 65% off speed. And like you understand that in the big leagues, because in the big leagues, just guys can hit velocity. Like guys are really good at hitting velocity, but in college, like velocity is going to dominate. Kyle, did you see the error they ruled last night to keep the no-hitter alive in big leagues? Please look it up. It's comically embarrassing. Yeah, you mean when the guy slipped and overran it and they gave it a hit? Yeah. I mean, that's the big leagues now, dude. The defense in the big leagues, you can't even watch a game without being like, what? That play that was just made in the big leagues? I think I know what you're talking about. It was for the second baseman like slipping on the ground ball, like routine ground ball. Mike Cameron said, watching the SEC tournament, can someone explain the square pouches on the belts? Can you show the clip? Yeah, I mean, if Dusty sends it to me, I'll show it. All right, he sent it to me. All right, let me pull it up for you guys. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's It's actually just like kind of ridiculous, but this is the big leagues now. Like every day I see clips like this. It's just like the defense is so bad. Yeah, they called that a look at this. I mean, I'm probably Zach. I'm probably going to be going live every single night because it's it's tournament time, baby. Looks like ratio Nats fan shagging in BP. Kyle, can we please commit to a schedule for those of us who work? Well, we're going to be doing during the middle of the week. We'll be doing 1:00 streams. I'll be getting off of this stream probably in like 15 minutes because I have a few calls coming up. And then tonight around 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. For some of these early, and it'll be that for the rest of the week. And if anything changes, I will make an announcement from my account. Yes, Dusty, yes. Let's check the score of Virginia Tech Stanford. Virginia Tech is winning 3-2 now. Anybody but FSU to win the ACC? Dusty, how's fatherhood been? I mean, I think legitimately, I think you're going to, I think you're going to see Georgia Tech in the ACC championship game. I just think they have the easiest side of the bracket. I think again they could have easily swept Clemson in the series earlier in the year. Clemson is not playing well. They did sweep Pitt to end the year, but like every decent team they played, like they were not playing well to end the year. And Georgia Tech seems to have kind of turned the corner on that. They beat 2 top 20 teams to finish. So I think Georgia Tech has a really good chance. If Tate McKee, I'll say it like this: if they win Game 1 in the ACC tournament, I think they're making it to the championship. And then depending on who they're playing, we'll see who's the favorite. Can Cal upset Wake tomorrow? I don't know, man. I mean, Cal just did not play well all year. They looked great against Miami, so maybe like a different team's going to show up. But I'm gonna go with like what teams looked like all year, generally speaking. Like, one game is one game. Now, if they beat Cal big game two, maybe you got to start believing in them, like playing like a better team. But one game for me is not enough to kind of change an outcome. So I think Wake, as of right now, I would say Wake is the favorite to win that game. And I think you're right. Wake is a team that, again, really talented team that did not play kind of up to expectations this year. But when you're talking just overall talent, Wake's got a lot of talent. They're one of the most talented teams in the ACC. Wonder if Wake is pitching their ace tomorrow. I don't know. Wonder if Wake is pitching their ace. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird when you have like these earlier games. Oklahoma with a 2-run homer to take the lead. 2-run home run to take the lead. So I mean, if you look at Wake's offense, they have 4 guys with double-digit home runs. They got Cade Lewis, Merrick Houston, Dalton Wentz has 8, Matt Scannell has 10, Jack Winay's got 14. I mean, they have 96 home runs, 110 doubles. Like, they're slugging 530. They're OPSing 960. They've scored 461 runs in 55 games. So they're scoring, over 8 runs a game. So the offense is really good. They're hitting 308 as a team. And then pitching wise, they have a 4.58 ERA, striking out a lot of guys. They have walked more guys this year than in years past. Like, that's really the big difference in their pitching staff. They're still striking out a bunch of dudes. They got 578 strikeouts in 466 innings. An opponent's batting average against their arms is a 219 or a 219. But they've walked like 267 batters in 466 innings. So they're walking more than one every 2 innings, which is a lot higher than usual for them. They do have some solid bullpen arms. Like, really, their best arms, besides Blake Morningstar, he really has been their ace, are all bullpen arms. Griffin Green, Josh Gunther, Hayden LeFew, Luke Schmolke, former Georgia Tech guy, 39 and a third innings for them. The strength of Wake's pitching staff is the bullpen. The starters have been, Logan Lunsford and Matthew Dallas have been decent. They're high 4s, 5.09 ERA. A lot of strikeouts. They strike out a bunch of guys, but they give up a lot of runs. They walk guys. And again, that's been every one of their starting pitchers will walk, at more than one guy per 2 innings, except for Morningstar. But their bullpen is really good. So I think Wake is just a scary team in the tournament. LeBron, that's a very odd celebration. Crotch bump. Yeah, it seems like it. Buck, this is a baseball chat. Wiley Bowden, where do you stand on the crotch bump? More extension? Depends on the day. Some days call for more subtle thrusts. But yeah, I just think Wake's just way more talented than Cal. Like, it's just if it's going to have to be a pretty big surprise for Cal to win. Should I just drive out to the Hoover Met and then bring all my gear and just stream from the stadium until they kick me out? The Kentucky players can't get into the bullpen? Yo, someone climb over the fence. Thank you. Nice. Depends on the, they got it. They figured it out. Kentucky figured it out how to open the bullpen door. Yes. Hopefully Miami plays at Georgia Tech next year. Atlanta is only 4 hours from me. Yeah, I guess you're. Yeah, I guess you're down there in the Panhandle. Must be an engineering major. Who's an engineering major? Not me. Not me. No, sir. Actually, I was always good at math, but like, dude, like nothing could bore me more than math. Unfortunately, Oklahoma adding on to it now, 3-1 lead with only one out still, and base now we got to run around first. Kentucky's actually, or Oklahoma's actual offense is starting to figure out this pitcher for Kentucky. Little hanging change up right down the middle. The guy that figured out the bullpen door. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Top 5 all-time caffeine sources. Top 5 all-time. Wow. That's probably original Jack 3D at number 1. Before that thing got banned in a heartbeat. Number 2 is just your classic like Monster. Classic Monster. That was like, I mean, that's goated. Everyone talks about the white Monster now. No, I mean it's all about the classic Monster. And then you got to get into this newer stuff. You got to go. Obviously, Bang was revolutionary. Bang, there ain't nothing like it. You get creatine, you get energy, caffeine. But now, put the Ghost energy drink up there. Ghosts are fantastic. And there's actually another one now called Gorilla Mind. You can get it at Vitamin Shop. Gorilla Mind, really good. But engineering is not math alone. You get to build and destruct. Yeah, but it's still a lot of math. We can go have lunch at the varsity. Yeah, 100%, Zach. If you guys come, if you and like Canes or whoever come up here to watch like a series, we'll go get something to eat. 100%. The varsity, I love the varsity too. I used to live, my junior year, I lived just north, like 2 blocks of the varsity in an apartment building or a condo building that we were renting. And so on game days, like football game days, I would just walk 2 blocks, not even 2 blocks, like a block, pick up varsity, head to the tailgate, at 8 in the morning for a long day of tailgating. And you were good to go for the rest of the day. Is there a healthy energy drink option than Red Bull? I'm trying to get off Red Bull. Yeah, like the ones I mentioned, Ghost Energy. Ghost Energy is like, again, like take it for what it's worth. It's an energy drink. It's probably, there's going to be some things in there that are probably not great for you. If you're taking in a lot of caffeine and you're not working out, that can be very detrimental, right? Like like what I was told in professional baseball was like if you're working out pretty hard on a regular basis, like if you're drinking 400 milligrams of caffeine, you're fine. Anything above that can get bad if you're, but that's if you're working out. If you're not working out, you got to be careful. Um, you don't get creatine. Half life is 8 hours in liquid. Strength coach taught us better, Kyle. You're right. That's what Steve said. That's why I take powder form as well. Powder form as well. And I don't even drink Bangs anymore. I drink Ghosts, which don't have creatine in them anyway. I'm going to start drinking creatine, or we can go to Korean barbecue if you're paying. We'll see. We'll see how. We'll see. We'll see which. There's Korean barbecue up by me, but I'm not down in Atlanta. I'm up. I'm just north of the perimeter. But yeah, we could. Well, I mean, we'll figure out. We'll figure out where we'll go. Not great for you, caffeine. Yeah, it's like anything, man. It's like anything in life. If you drink too much water, it's bad for you, right? It's all about, relatively speaking, how much are you taking? How much are you ingesting? And everyone's different. Like a big dude who's like 230 pounds muscle can probably take more caffeine than a guy like me. I'm 185 pounds. Same is true with like protein. I don't need to take as much protein as a guy who's 230 pounds. He could take way more. Same with creatine, everything. That's why I drink the smallest Red Bull. I don't like a lot of caffeine. Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish I could I kind of wish that like 75 milligrams of caffeine would do it for me. It's just not, that's not the case. When you play 5 years in the Pacific Coast League, and you grind through that travel, like you're a caffeine addict no matter what. Everyone is. Top 5 all-time nicotine sources. I think you can get anything that's not tobacco. Like I've said this a bunch, like nicotine actually by itself is like, they're using that in Alzheimer's treatments now, dementia treatments. Nicotine is actually a neuroprotectant, prevents your brain from losing, memory, degrading over time, everything like that. Now, if it's attached to a tobacco product like dip, like cigarettes, anything like that, it's not really the nicotine that's bad for you, even though the nicotine is addictive. Don't get me wrong. The tobacco is what's giving you a lot of the bad stuff. But that's why there's a lot of supplements out there now that are just nicotine. And again, like I said, they're using it in treatment for people with Alzheimer's and dementia because it's actually restoring like the capability of the brain, the brain's functionality. I drank 2 sips of a Red Bull once and I thought I was having a heart attack. How that stuff is legal, I don't know. Oh, my sweet summer child, Buck. Oh, my. Wow. What's your thoughts on whey protein? Really good. Whey protein is what the kind you want. Whey protein is going to process faster in your body. So that's what you want to eat. That's what you want to take post-workout is whey protein. There's protein, starts with a C. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, the type of protein that is like a slower absorbing protein that you can take like at night, but whey protein's the best. Anyways, guys, I have to go now. I got a few calls coming up. I'll see you guys later tonight, probably. So look out for the stream. Thanks for all the conversations. I'll see you guys tonight for some more